Hi everyone. We are opening a little bit of memorabilia tonight and then a 10-box case of Classics football. So yeah, it's going to be, the memorabilia will be first. It's pretty quick, and then of course Classics takes us a little bit more time to run through that. But before we get started ripping into things, we've got some information to go over. First up there, you will notice that my feedback is completely automated on eBay. So what that means to you is that you never have to wait on me to get caught up on feedback. So yay, that's the good news there. And second thing on that page, and the most important thing, of course, is to say thank you. I appreciate everyone who bids and breaks and chats and hangs out with me. However you participate in the break, I appreciate having you join. So thank you to everyone. Next, we'll take a look at the breaks that are coming up over the next 5 days. This is the stuff that's already listed on eBay, and there's nothing tomorrow night, right? This is the first time we've had an open night since, wow, probably back in February. And you know why, because I fell and busted my ribs earlier this week, and I couldn't sit there. 5 days ago, I couldn't sit there long enough to list any breaks for Monday night, as well as break Monday night. So yeah, so we're off tomorrow night. But then Tuesday, we will be back at it with a case of Tier 1 baseball and a case of Essentials basketball. On Wednesday, we will do an autographed baseball jersey, Gold Rush. We'll do another case of these Onyx Preferred Players autographed baseballs that we're going to open up tonight. Topps Finest comes out on Wednesday. We'll bust into a case of that on Wednesday as well. On Thursday, we will do another half case of the mini helmets. We're going to do one of those breaks tonight as well. We'll do a couple of 2012 Signature Series baseball boxes there as a break, and another case of Finest baseball. On Friday night, we're only going to do Luminance. It comes out on Friday. I'm super stoked about it, and I just decided I didn't want to open anything else up first. I just wanted to rip into Luminance right away. So that's why there's only one break on Friday night. But let's get back to tonight. This is also the order that we're breaking in. So the Onyx Preferred Players autographed baseballs will be first. That's a full inner case. It will be break number 13. Then we will start a brand new case, and we'll break half of it on the TriStar Hidden Treasures autographed mini football helmets, and then a full 10-box case of Classics football. The other thing to notice there, guys, the first two breaks, you can see there on the screen, those are free shipping breaks. Anytime you do a break with me that is completely free shipping, it's going to go out usually 6 or 7 days after the auction ends. Sometimes I get that stuff out sooner. Every once in a while it might slide a day later, but for the most part, that's kind of your time frame. So, kind of plan on Saturday shipping, and if it goes out sooner, you'll just be pleasantly surprised. How about that? And then our paid shipping break tonight is Classics football. I've got it penciled in there to go out on Thursday. I would like to get that to you sooner than that. I hope I can get that to you sooner than that, but I am still catching up a little bit. I was moving slowly pretty much all week due to the ribs. They are still pretty sore, but I'm moving much better. So hopefully we'll get caught back up pretty soon. And then finally, consolation cards. If you are in one of the first two breaks tonight, which is the autographed baseballs and the autographed mini football helmets, if your team is not pulled, you are entitled to a consolation trading card for your team. It can be from any year. It can be from any series. I track that for a rolling 90-day period. Normally, I would send that with your next hit. So the next time you pull a card or an item, anything you were due for past no-hit teams would go out with that order. If you want just your random trading card sent by itself, you don't want to wait for it to go with the next order, I can absolutely do that. It would just be in a plain white envelope with a stamp, no tracking. You would just have to send me a message over on eBay and let me know. Okay, so that's how that works. And of course, the Classics football, you guys don't have to worry. There's a zillion cards in that break. Every team's going to pull some cards there. So first up, 3 boxes of 2018 Onyx Preferred Players autographed baseballs. This is a full inner case. It's break number 13. It ended tonight, Sunday, the 3rd of June. And of course, we're live streaming it tonight. We started a little early at 9:30, earlier than we normally break anyway. And a couple of things to note here. Of course, you've got team names on one side, winning bidders across from them. There are a few teams that don't have hits on the checklist. So if they're not on the checklist, they were not listed as an option to buy. So those are the ones that say no hits, not listed. We had one team that didn't sell. That was the Tampa Bay Rays. It's noted as no bids buyback. So if something were to come out for the Tampa Bay Rays, it would, of course, hang out here with me. Otherwise, if it comes out for one of you, it's going to go out the door to you. Finally, I know the background went out of focus. I did that on purpose, but hey, don't worry. We're going to be able to see everything still, so shouldn't be any problems there. And I see that we have T. Keen and Alan and Mr. Majestic and Jesse all in chat right now. And yeah, Mr. Majestic, I mean, anytime now, when you say hitless, there's two different things. People sometimes mean different things with hitless, okay? So as you saw there on the screen, it is if you pull nothing at all, okay? You don't pull any card, any item, then you get the consolation card. If you're in a break and you do pull a card, whether it's autographed or memorabilia or numbered or just a base card or whatever, if you pull something and it ships out to you, then obviously, you know, that's not going to get the consolation card. But you do get the consolation card if you do not pull a single thing. Again, I track that for a rolling 90-day period, and typically I just look that up when it comes time to ship. I just pull up everybody's, let's say you had a package going out tomorrow. I would pull up your user ID. It would show me whatever no-hit teams you had for the last 90 days. I would grab cards to match up with that and put them in the package with whatever you had going. So that's typically how that sort of thing works. Yeah, you would not have to look it up. That's kind of what I'm saying, Mr. Majestic. When I ship, the next time you have a package coming out to you, I would have your user ID in eBay, and it will pull up and show me everything that you have been in for the last 90 days. So obviously, if I see something that hasn't shipped out, and it's an older something, then I'm going to know that it was a no-hit team for you and send you the consolation cards. That make sense? All right, guys, so here's our first out. I'm not exactly sure who that is. I always like to try to guess them, but I don't know on that one. There's an Onyx authentication sticker. There's a PSA DNA authentication sticker. And now we're going to find out who it actually is. PSA DNA. Oh, we've got a rookie ball, no less. That's always nice. And these, that was a little bent up because they, you know, wrapped around the baseball, I guess. Here's the Onyx card that matches up. And this will tell us who it is. It is Starlin Castro. So let me find, I mean, I know where I think that should be, but let me find Starlin on the, yes, he is on the checklist as a Miami Marlin. So I'm going to do two things as we go along here, guys. Hang on one second. This is number 13, right? Yeah, so this is number 13. I'm just going to label the top of this box as we go. So that way I don't have to do it later, and you know, everything's all locked and loaded as we go along. And then, oh, Jesse, you were asking me, Ichiro is Marlins in this break. Let me look on the checklist. I printed it off here. Yes, he is on the checklist as a Miami Marlin. So that checklist, of course, guys, is actually part of the listing. It's shown there as a photograph, and it is also at the bottom. I think I also copied it at the bottom, like in written out form down there in the product description. But definitely there's a picture of the official checklist in there. So here is, I don't know who. Yeah, that could be anybody at all. There's an Onyx authentication to go with it. We have a JSA authentication card. So why didn't we have a JSA? Oh, we do have a JSA authentication sticker. I missed it. It was over there on the side. So JSA card, Onyx card, and it is Renato Nunez, who I believe is on here as an Oakland A. Let me just make sure he is indeed. So again, I'm just going to write that on the top of the box. And we have one more to go. Yeah, sometimes these guys, you never know how somebody's going to do a checklist. Yeah, it's kind of like when you look at Topps products and Rod Carew. Like half the time they have him as an angel, half the time they have him as a twin. I mean, you kind of never know where somebody's going to assign a player, so it's always good to look at the checklist if you're after somebody in particular. All right, that is a very nice looking signature. It says Go Cards, so I think we can assume it's going to be a Cardinal, whoever that is. And there's our Onyx authentication, and always nice to have a little inscription, your Onyx card that goes along with it. And that is Sam, oh boy, I can't pronounce his last name. So we're just going to go with Sam. And yeah, St. Louis Cardinals anyway. And you know I'm not even going to attempt that last name. So let me write St. Louis on this one. We will recap these and wrap this break up. So St. Louis Cardinals. And Jesse says you accidentally hit your Marlins hit. You didn't mean to hit it. Well, hey, that's however you get them, they're all still hits. That, of course, for the Oakland A's with the Renato Nunez. Yes, Mr. Majestic, we did the product rundown right about the time that you were looking at the info on the screen there with the consolation cards. We also ran through the product breakdown for tonight. So, again, it is the baseballs that we're doing right now. This is the Miami Marlins. That will be followed by the half case of mini helmets, followed by the full case of Classics football. So things pretty much always break in the order that they end on eBay. Memorabilia virtually always is going to break before cards because memorabilia is pretty quick, and a full case of cards takes us a long time. Okay, so that has our Onyx Preferred all wrapped up, which will bring us next to our half case of autographed mini helmets. Let me get the spreadsheet set back up for that. We'll take a fly through it real quick. So if you weren't logged on earlier, you happen to miss this, here's the deal. Our first two breaks tonight, the baseballs that you just saw, the mini helmets that you are about to see. Free shipping breaks go out approximately 6 to 7 days after an auction ends, anticipating a Saturday shipping date for both of those breaks. Once again, Classics is a paid shipping break, anticipating that will go out on Thursday. If I can get it to you sooner, I certainly will. And consolation cards, tracked for a rolling 90-day period, your no-hit teams. Typically will send your consolation cards, which can be from any year and any series, with your next package. If you want them sent out by themselves, we can work that out. And it would just be, you know, in a plain white envelope, no tracking, nothing like that, just an envelope and a stamp. And of course, there's more information about that in the listing description as well. So this is 5 boxes of 2018 TriStar Hidden Treasures autographed mini football helmets. It's a half case break. It's break number 3, so it is the start of a new case. And of course, this also ended tonight on eBay Sunday, June the 3rd, and we're busting into it June the 3rd as well. And because it is a new case, we're going to have a little work to do. We've got a little extra work. In that, I'm going to take all the boxes out. I will number all 10 of the boxes on the end and then use random.org to determine which 5 are open tonight versus which 5 we will open in the next break later in the week. And this case is gigantic and these boxes are big. So bear with me for a minute while I get them out and stack them up. And they're going to be stacked really tall. So they're not all going to be, I tried to do this the other night and I didn't really think about it, so it was too late. It's kind of hard to get them all in the view of the camera because each of these boxes are so big. But anyway, I can still number them. We'll still be able to figure it out, and I can show you the numbers on the ends of each one. If you want to see them, we can pick up the camera and pan it or something. All right. A lot of people don't really care that much about this, but I like to when we're doing less than a case quantity and it's the start of a new case. I do typically prefer to take them out and number them. So, you know, there's your big stack of them. And I'm going to bring you along with me while we roll over here to random and get this all sorted out. Okay, so there's our 1 through 10 typed in there. I'm going to hit random a single time. The first 5 numbers that come up will be the 5 that we open this evening. So it gives us 4, 2, 8, 5, and 1. So 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8. All right. 1, 2 is easy. And 4, 5 is easy. Oh, yay, this is going to be easy all the way around. All right. So let me get these other 5 out of the way here and get our current 5 situated. Let me set these back in their case. I'll be right back. Okay, and now, oh, I've got a bunch of chat to catch up on. I don't know what, oh, I think you guys, okay, you guys don't need me in chat. You guys are just chatting back and forth there. So, okay, cool. All right. So then, let's see who we've got in our first box. This is a collegiate helmet, but you guys know on collegiate helmets, well, maybe you don't, but if you don't, it will go to their current team if they are active and there's no NFL team listed, which there is not an NFL team listed on there. And if they are retired, which he most certainly is, Billy Sims, then it's going to be the team that he played for the longest. So hold tight while I jump into the Football Reference or NFL.com, whichever comes up first, and we'll find out the answer to Billy Sims. And he's loading, loading, loading. Sometimes they've only played for one team. Sometimes they've played for a lot of teams. So I'm just going to check on Billy here. Make sure that I know the answer. Looks like it was all Lions. So looks like that is, I don't see, I'm in football, profootballreference.com, and I don't see any competing teams. So I believe that Billy Sims is going to be a Detroit Lion. Of course, long retired, but nonetheless, what appears to be the one and only NFL team that he played for. So, all right. Now, oh, I always forget they've got the little extra security thing with the plastic seal right there. Oh, we pulled this guy out of the last case, too, for the Cardinals, and I don't know how to say his last name. We're just going to call him Roger, and he was in our most recent case that we did as well. So, at the moment, we have a Detroit Lion and an Arizona Cardinal. Oh, Alan, yeah, you're talking about that Otani Superfractor. That's going to be crazy. I mean, the one that we found that had the Japanese auto, that one alone is, I mean, the guy's got some major offers on that thing. I mean, it's hitting, or offers in the range of 6 figures, so I can't even imagine what the Superfractor would bring. Jim Plunkett for the Raiders. Nice little hit for Oakland with our third out tonight. Oh, T. Keen, you hit one of the helmets tonight. Awesome, man. I like to do the mini helmets in half cases when they're a type of product that comes in a case. I like doing them in half cases because I think obviously it improves your odds of being able to pull something, and it's just more fun. And next out we have Ken Houston, and of course this is on an Oilers helmet. And I'm sure most of you know this because I think most breakers do this the same way, but in case you don't, items and cards stay with their franchise. So in this case, of course, the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee, became the Tennessee Oilers, changed their name again when they moved around in the state, and they are the current Tennessee Titans. So anything I ever pull that has a Houston Oiler logo on it will go to the Tennessee Titans. And then, of course, all that info and all kinds of other fun stuff in the listing description down there in that little special circumstances area. And next up we have Troy Smith, and it says on there drafted by the Ravens. So since there is a professional team noted on the item itself or on an accompanying article with the item, then Troy Smith here is going to go to the Ravens. So let me do one little thing here. Just checking one. If I hit the right button, I'm going to check one quick thing here, and then we will be recapping this. I really didn't remember it. Well, it doesn't matter, I don't guess, but anyway, yeah, okay, so that's right. I just wanted to make sure on this. So he did in fact play for Baltimore 3 of the 4 years he was in. So Troy Smith for the Ravens is a nice little OSU helmet. Was that? That's a collegiate, but I think that was OSU, wasn't it? Looked like it. And then the Raiders, Jim Plunkett. Of course, all these little cards are just, you know, they're not like super high quality little cards, but they'll be in there in the box with your helmet. TriStar puts them in there, so they'll come your way. Then the Billy Sims, which is, of course, the Lions that we verified a moment ago. And then Roger here for the Arizona Cardinals. And last but not least, Ken Houston, which, of course, Oilers goes to Titans, so the Tennessee Titans. So give me 1 second. I want to mark the top of each of these boxes with number 3 so that there is no question about which break they were pulled in. Then I'm going to set them aside and we're going to be busting into Classics. Classics has a lot of base cards in it, and I do ship them all. So yeah, you're going to get a big mess of cards most likely. There's a few teams that don't pull an extraordinary amount, but for sure every team's going to pull something. All right, let me get our big honkin' case of Classics up on the table. We'll put our spreadsheet up and get to work. And they get back on the right page might be helpful. Doesn't do us much good if I'm on the wrong page now, does it? Okay, so by now probably everyone has seen this. So rather than read it all off again, I'll just tell you, if you haven't seen it, take a minute, look at what you see there about your anticipated shipping date, etc. And we are rolling with 10 boxes of 2018 Classics football. This is a full inner case, and it's break number 7. The eBay end date, of course, tonight, 6/3, and we're live streaming it tonight, June the 3rd, as well. I guess I went a little fast through the top, didn't I? Slow down a little bit so you actually get a chance to see your name up there. If I go flying by, I guess you don't get a chance to do that, do you? Mr. Majestic, were you asking if I hit that Otani? If that's what you were asking, yes, I did. I mean, not me personally, as in like I didn't get to keep it. I pulled it in one of my breaks for one of my customers. I did not hit it in a break that I had bought into because I actually don't buy in for the Angels. I am a Cincinnati Reds fan. But yes, I did pull it for my customer. He got it graded. It graded out at a 9.5. The offer he had was for the card raw, though, so I'm guessing the offer amount may have increased since it came back graded so nicely. It came back surface 10, everything else 9.5 except the centering. And they dinged us on the centering and gave it only a 9. Which was kind of weird because, frankly, almost everybody who looked at it, that's the comment was like, oh, the centering is really nice. Like, we all thought the centering would be the 10 but it wasn't. They gave us a 9. And I say us, it's his card. But they gave the card a 9 on centering, a 10 on surface, and a 9.5 on everything else. But so far, it is the one and only that has come out signed in with the Japanese signature. So it was a pretty cool little pull for sure. All right, guys and gals. In Classics, somewhere in this, we will find ourselves a buyback autograph card. That's a case hit. I did have one case where we had 2 buybacks, but most of the time we're going to find 1. We will also find in most boxes 1 autograph and 1 memorabilia card. A couple of times I have found an extra memorabilia card. Once I think we found an extra autograph card. It's also possible that we could find Panini rewards points. And if we do, that means it has replaced a hit. And we would use random.org to award it at the end of the break. There's lots and lots of numbered cards in here. The paper cards that are numbered to 299 will all have a red back. Paper cards that are numbered to 50 will all have a blank back. On the chrome cards that are not refractors are unnumbered. Chrome cards that do refract, for the most part, are numbered to 175 and have a red back. If the chrome is a refractor but has, you can call it yellow, you can call it gold, whichever you prefer. I'm going to call it gold. Has a gold border and it refracts. It's going to be numbered to 65. We will find timeless tributes in here. Timeless tributes with a gold border will be numbered to 99. Timeless tributes with an orange border is numbered to 25. Timeless tributes with a blue border is numbered to 10. Trying to think what else. I mean, that's kind of the majority of it. Rookies are going to go to the team that drafted them. If they were undrafted, but they have subsequently signed with a team, and in other words, you punch their name in at NFL.com under current player search and it comes up with a team, then they're going to go to that team. Most of these guys are in that position. One of the few that isn't is Riley Ferguson. Akram Wadley to 99, that's one of the timeless tributes I mentioned earlier. And again, anytime you see timeless tribute with that color, it will be numbered to 99. Yes, of course, Alan, there's a possibility to do no name and full name stuff. We don't pull those out of every single case, though. So, you know, if we get to one of those, we'll definitely look more into that when we hit it. Classic Clashes, we'll find a bunch of these. There are 2 different teams on there, as you see. So I'm going to set that off to the side. At the end of the break, I will use random.org to award that. We'll see where it ends up going. And not it. There'll be a big stack of them where they end up going, I should say. So here's an example of a base chrome card that is a refractor. That is Sam Darnold, and it is numbered to 35 because it also has a blank back. So most of our chrome refractors have a red back, but that one had a blank back. So got a little extra love there for the Jets with the Sam Darnold. Stickers, that's another thing that we'll find throughout. New this year to Classics. That's just the base chrome, no refractor. Those are unnumbered. And I'm sure there's probably some other stuff I'll remember once we see it. Nice little Saquon Barkley, just basic chrome there for the Giants. And what else, guys? I think that's basically it. We have hit, to go to your point, Alan, we've hit no name, probably at least 2 or 3 times out of the number of cases we've opened. Full name, I think we've only hit twice. This is numbered to 299. It's Robbie Anderson for the Jets. It's a red back. Again, any paper numbered to 299 will have that red back. We may not necessarily flip them all over unless somebody's just dying to do that. Because I can promise you, as much of this as I've looked through, they're all going to have that red back if they have that number. Ted Johnson to 299. That is for the Patriots. If you happen to see a numbered card go by that I do not catch and call out, because that does happen sometimes, feel free to jump into chat and let me know. The thing I would ask is that if you can remember the team or the player when you see it go by, drop that in there too to make it easier to find. Quadre Henderson to $2.99. That will be a red back variation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Originally undrafted, signed subsequently with the Steelers. And here we have ourselves a little Harold Landry refractor, chrome refractor with the gold border. Nice low number to 25 on that one because it's the rookie signature version. So that is always a nice little hit. And let me just double check. Harold Landry, I always want to say that he's the wrong, I always want to say a team and it's the wrong team most of the time. So I'm just going to look it up before I say it. Oh, I would have gotten it right. Titans. For some reason, I keep getting Harold Landry stuck with in my head. I half the time I call him out, or I think he's with the wrong team. So I wrote him down. That way I can remember. Numbered to 99. Once again, this one with two different teams is going to jump right over there into the pile of to be determined at the end of the break stuff. The Bus, Jerome Bettis for my Pittsburgh Steelers. Canton Collection swatches. Well, what is going on with that sleeve? Is our first materials hit for the evening. So I guess tonight, are we actually, I guess Golden State is actually playing tonight, right? And the Cavs in the finals. I thought the next game was last night, and somebody informed me that it was not. Numbered to 50, Cedric Wilson Jr. with the blank back. But I kind of am, I'm still a little just disillusioned by the fact that it's the same two teams in the finals for the 100th year. So I'm not super interested in it, but yet I'm kind of interested in it. So... So if it is happening right now, and anybody should want to type the score into chat, I wouldn't object to that. But of course, we've got so much going on this week. We've got the Major League Baseball draft, which will start tomorrow. And I like tennis, so I'll be watching Serena Williams play Maria Sharapova in the wee hours of the morning in the French Open. And we're not far away from the NBA draft. We've got the NBA finals. Everything's kind of cooking this week. Alan says that the Warriors are leading, and it's the start of the fourth quarter. Okay, cool. Thank you for that update. Toby, we have already done the baseballs. Help me, guys. Who was it? It was the Marlins, the A's, and somebody. Marlins, A's, and who was over here? That guy whose name I couldn't pronounce. Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah. Marlins, A's, Cardinals. Now, I don't remember the specific players, Toby, but that is at least the teams. You know me, I do well to remember the teams on things. much less the players. Uh-oh, you didn't have that apparently. I'm sorry. Who'd you have tonight, man? Didn't I just ship you some? Didn't I just ship you some memorabilia, or am I dreaming that? Maybe I shipped you cards and I thought you just hit something real recently, memorabilia wise. Maybe I'm confused. Brian Dawkins for the Eagles, numbered to 65. That is the gold edged refractor. Again, our veterans like that, numbered to 65, of course. As we saw, our rookies that are autographed with that scenario are to 25. To 299, Kerryon Johnson, Redback Lions. And by all accounts, he is doing well in training camp. Redback for the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. A timeless tribute, numbered to 99, Marshall Faulk and the Rams. just a, whoops, sticker wanting to stick to the back of our little dummy card there. That is a, is that, oh, it's the Saints. I thought it was the Saints, and then I saw the little orange and black, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is that the Bengals? Why would they put the Bengals on the Saints colors? Yeah, it is the Saints. I'm just having some kind of a moment, apparently. Just caught the wrong edge of the card there, caught my eye. Timeless Tributes numbered to 10. Lamar Miller and the Texans. Here comes our relic for this box. It is Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz, combo relic for the Eagles. I saw Carson Wentz has well, I guess most athletes have a foundation these days. Justin Tucker to $2.99 for the Ravens, red back. But he has started a food truck initiative with his foundation, and I guess they're going to use the food truck to travel around in various places around the city and help feed the homeless population or the underprivileged population. I don't know all the details. I just know he started a food truck initiative. It's going to help the disadvantaged, and I thought it was really nice. By all accounts, he just seems like a stand-up guy, doesn't he? I also saw that Deshaun Watson seems to be back doing some practice action, so that's good news for the Texans. Quinn Blanding, and Quinn is numbered to 25. I don't remember Quinn. I gotta look Quinn up. Hold, please. Un momento. Undrafted maybe originally. I believe undrafted originally with the Redskins right now. So Quinn Blanding is a Washington Redskin. To $299, Ken Anderson, blast from the past, red back for the Bengals. Of course, I also saw where Hugh Jackson had to literally go jump in the lake and managed to somehow raise about $30,000 doing it, which was pretty good. Actually, he may have paid that out of his own pocket because he made, of course, you know, after they had that, not this past season, but season before, when he won a single game and lost 15. And, of course, he had that whole big news conference about how, oh, that would never happen, you know, the next year, and blah, 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 it'd be so much better. And if it wasn't, he'd go jump in Lake Erie. And, of course, we all know what happened. They didn't win a single game last year. So, yeah, he actually jumped in Lake Erie, per his promise, and made some kind of offer that any of the other Browns employees that wanted to jump in the lake with him, that he would donate $100, I think, for each of them to charity. So ended up donating about $30,000, and they all jumped in the lake. Of course, I'm sure if you're a Browns fan, you would much rather have just simply won a game or two than watching everybody jump in the lake. But anyway, at least you got something out of it. And then, of course, now you've got the whole faction of people who are already starting in on poor Baker Mayfield. Already saying, oh, he didn't look good in practice. Oh, this, that, and the other. You know what? He shouldn't look good in practice yet. That's the whole purpose of training camp and OTAs and all this stuff that these guys are going through. Because they're supposed to be learning the offense and learning what they're doing. He's not supposed to be brilliant out of the gate. I swear, Browns just are hard on their quarterbacks. But if anybody can take it, it's probably Baker. But I am a little shocked that they decided to let HBO do Hard Knocks this year. To $2.99, Dalian Dawkins, red back. because that kind of just takes any little problem that your team might have and magnifies it drastically. To $2.99, Von Miller, Broncos. But it's probably going to be must-see TV, right? The Hard Knocks, I mean. I'm probably going to watch it, and I don't usually watch it. But I might have to check it out this year. T. Cassidy is here. Hi, T. Cassidy. What's happening, my friend? How have you been? I haven't been opening the stuff you like much lately, have I? I've got to get back into putting more of our older products in our 1 and 2 box breaks and that sort of stuff. I got to start getting those worked back into the rotation. It's just we've had so much stuff with a lot of base cards. I mean, between classics, which of course this has a ton, and then we had just finished up Bowman, and Bowman had a ton. And it just seems like every time I turn around, we're opening something with 8 million base cards, and then I feel like I don't have time to get everything else done, and something falls off the wagon. Carlton Davis, numbered to 25. And Carlton, we're pulling all these ones tonight that I don't know by heart. Carlton Davis is a Buccaneer. But of course, Friday night is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited about Luminance, can't even tell you. Because A, it looks like it has good memorabilia in it. B, it's going to have draft day signatures. Nice old Troy Aikman redback refractor to 175. And I went back through the marketing materials again today. And it says that our draft day signatures are going to fall roughly every other box. So that's good. So it means we should have 6 a case. They're not going to be super scarce. Well, to a point. Numbered to 50, Larry Fitzgerald, blank back for the Cardinals. I guess each individual player may still have a low number of them available, but there will be many to hit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? A.J. Green for the Bengals is our relic. Oh, you're waiting on Topps Chrome. I can't remember the release date on Topps Chrome. I want to say we got a little bit to go before we hit that. Because don't we have, isn't Series 2 coming up next? I think maybe Series 2 is coming up next for us. Well, I mean, obviously, Finest is coming out Wednesday, but I'm talking about the next one that's got a lot of cards in it. Numbered to 25, we have Roquan Smith for the Bears. I mean, Finest is, what, an 8-box case, and I can't remember how many cards per box, but it's not an overwhelming number. Alan Page to $2.99, that was for the Vikings. It has the red back variation. All right. Oh, you're talking about the Chrome football. I thought you meant Topps Chrome baseball. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got tons of that stuff. I mean, that's what I was talking about last night. I've got tons of stuff from 2010 all the way up through 2016, probably even some 2017 football of various kinds that eventually need to be worked through. I've got an equal amount of stuff in basketball that needs to be worked through. I mean, I've got tons of stuff. But again, I don't have enough time with as much new stuff that's coming out every single week. And so much of it having so many base cards. I mean, there's a finite amount that I can get listed every night and broken every night. But more importantly than that, you also have to have time to sort and ship them. And when you get into stuff like classics and Bowman and the things that we've just wrapped up on that have so many base cards, it takes an extraordinary amount of time to break them and then sort them and ship them. So yeah, I do have it. Eventually it will show up in a break, but I do not know when to tell you that would be. My goal is to get most of the older stuff in football and basketball, to have most of that worked through by, say, August, somewhere in that neighborhood. Now, whether or not I will be able to attain that goal, I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. So here we have a no-name front that we were, actually it was Alan that mentioned this earlier, and we're fortunate enough to find one tonight. It is numbered to 10, and of course it is Troy Aikman for the Cowboys. Always good to find our no-name fronts. So nice low number hit there for Dallas. Yeah, honestly, I've got a lot probably of chrome when I think about it, T. Cassidy. I've got it from 13, 14, and 15. And I've got regular chrome for all 3 of those years. And then I think I've got mini chrome for 14 and 15 as well. There's a Saquon Barkley to 299 red back parallel for the Giants. That is a signature I would like to pull out of here tonight. Maybe we can conjure that up. Let's try to conjure us up a Saquon Barkley. Last night we had some good rookies come out, including Josh Rosen to 15. In fact, the case last night was probably more rookie than veteran autos. Deontay Burnett, redback chrome refractor to 175. Then we have Ray Lewis for the Ravens, numbered to 99. That is a timeless tribute card. Michael Irvin, Cowboys, Canton Collection swatches for our relic. I think I mentioned this earlier, but in case I did not, all of our cards, all the cards tonight will ship, which is how I do most of the breaks. Numbered to 99, and you know what? I don't pronounce his last name even remotely close to correctly. So we're going to go with Lowell and stick with Lowell. And he was undrafted and went to the Broncos as an undrafted free agent. Numbered to 299, there is Zeke, red back for the Dallas Cowboys. Keep hearing some really weird noise. I think it must be really windy outside or something. I'm hearing like some kind of really strange noise. Hope it's not just in my head. Jim Otto for the Raiders to 299, red back parallel. Probably some of my neighbors doing something. Some of my neighbors like to live loud, I guess is the best way to say it. Dak Prescott, numbered to 50, blank back for the Cowboys. All right, that was our halfway point. No, it wasn't either. This will be our halfway point. This is a 10-box case, not a 12-box case. Yeah, so, yeah, that's right. So we have 5. After we finish this one, we'll be at the exact halfway point. I was thinking it was a 12-box case, but that was wrong. Luminance that's coming up is a 12-box. Oh, I put those on there upside down. Is a 12-box case. Or did I? I don't know what I've done. There. And aside from the draft day signatures, looks like it has some nice memorabilia and stuff in it as well. think maybe 3 hits a box or thereabouts. But that's a Friday release, of course. Wednesday is just the baseball. Ah, why do I keep setting them down upside down right now? I do not know. I don't think we're going to have Prestige this year. Someone asked me that the other night when Prestige was coming out, because it's normally one of the earlier products in the year. And I haven't seen anything of it. And we've got all these new products. Luminance, of course, coming up right around the corner. Elements is coming up. What else? There's another new one, I believe, that I'm drawing a blank on. Anyway, a handful that we haven't had before, and I don't think we're getting Prestige this year, so. Which really doesn't make me all that sad, honestly, because it's another one that had so many base cards. To 299, Mike Wagner, Steelers, Redback variation. Yeah, I'm not super sad about, I mean, I like Prestige, but all those base cards were kind of painful, I will grant you that. Bill Bates for the Cowboys. Huh, there's one you don't see very often. Numbered to 65. So a little throwback autograph for the Cowboys with Bill Bates. That's not the buyback. I just to be clear, I said throwback meaning, you know, a player from prior years. I did not mean to imply that that was the buyback card. It is not. We have not yet found our case hit buyback card. Sometimes I've got to be careful and clarify things like that, because somebody just hears the part of it and they just hear the back part and they're like, wait, what? No. I must have put these in 100 different directions. To 299, DJ Chark. That is a red back variation for Jacksonville. Number to 99, Derek Carr, Timeless Tributes, Raiders. Good gracious, yeah, I do have these going in 1,000 directions. LaDainian Tomlinson for the Chargers, blank back, chrome, refractor, 235. What do you think they're going to do at tight end? You think they're going to bring Antonio back? I mean, because Hunter Henry tore his ACL preseason, and of course they released Antonio Gates. And he hasn't signed anywhere else. Would make sense, wouldn't it? They just brought him back. Leonard Fournette for the Jags, our relic. Of course, maybe he doesn't want to come back, right? Because they didn't pick up his contract. Maybe he's like, forget you, I'm not coming back. Numbered to 99, Roger Craig. Timeless tribute for the 49ers. Josh Allen, that's just again a base chrome, did not refract and would not be numbered as a result. Composers, Matt Stafford to 99 for the Lions. Now we are at our official halfway point with 5 boxes down and 5 to go. Have not yet found our case hit. remember what the dates are for the NBA draft? I know it's soon. I know it's this month. I say soon. It may not be soon. Sometime in June. It may actually be a couple of weeks. But I can't remember the exact date. I want to see where the European kid goes. Luka Doncic, isn't that his name? I think he may be the star of this draft class. He has been tearing it up over there in EuroLeague. He's only 19, and he's kind of won everything there is to win over there, I believe. And has had a lot of experience playing with grown men, as opposed to some of our guys who may be brilliant, and then they may turn out to be Hall of Famers, but, you know, they've been playing college ball, so it's a little different than this kid coming out of the EuroLeague, who's, by all accounts, a beast. Yes, the mini helmets have been gone now for a while, probably 30 minutes or more ago we did the mini helmets. And, oh boy, there was a Detroit Lion, a Cardinal, and I don't really remember beyond that. Here comes a nice little Darius Geis, numbered to 49 for the Redskins. One of the more anticipated running backs out of the class, out of this draft class. Aaron Rodgers, numbered to 10 for the Packers on the composer's insert. Can anybody else remember who any of the other mini helmets were? Cardinals, Lions, there was a Raider. I remember that. I'm trying to visualize them as I see them sitting on the table, and I cannot remember them all. There was a Raven, because that was on that OSU helmet, right? So there was a Raven, a Cardinal, a Raider, a Lion. Who am I missing? A Raven, a Cardinal, Raider, a Lion, and a, I don't know. Gesicki to 299 for the Dolphins. Another classic clashes. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Oilers, which is Titans. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so Titans was our 5th one. Brian, you rock, man. I could not remember that. Thank you. That is number 225, Alvin Kamara, Timeless Tributes for the Saints. Number to 299, Big Ben. That would have a red back parallel for the Steelers. Relic, John Riggins and Joe Theismann. Redskins. There's a Redskins kind of box between the Darius Geis autograph and then the dual relic for the Skins as well. Number to 299, Gilbert Brown for the Packers, red back, parallel. We are getting there. We're cutting a path through it. Ooh, we have an extra relic in this box. Bonus. And it's for the Cowboys, Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman. They were kind enough to give us one side white and one side blue, so it makes it feel like we have a 2-color relic, even though we have 2 single-color relics. Gives you the illusion of one relic with 2 colors, doesn't it? Michael Gallup, numbered to 99. That will be the Cowboys. Oh, goodness. Keenan Allen tried to take off on me there. James Washington, chrome refractor, red back to 175 for my Pittsburgh Steelers. can't wait to see what the Steelers are going to do with the quarterback situation. I mean, you know Mason Rudolph is staying. You know Ben is staying. So either Landry or Josh Dobbs has got to go. I've said all along I think they're going to keep Josh Dobbs and get rid of Landry. Because Josh Dobbs still has the potential to get better, number one. Number two, his contract is a whole lot cheaper. And we need the cap space. And number three, he's under team control for a long time. Landry's contract's about to expire and cost us a lot of money. And we know he's probably as good as he's going to get. Or he's at least as good as he's going to get within our system. Maybe that's the way to say it. Because, you know, sometimes guys go somewhere else and get a lot better. But one of them's going to go. There's no way we're rolling with 4 quarterbacks when it comes time to cut the roster. You know who else may have a little quandary? The Jets. Because by all accounts, guess who's burning it up? Yeah, that'd be Teddy Bridgewater. That everybody kind of wrote off. Obviously, he had that horrific injury, and for real, for sure, nobody knew if he was going to make it back. But then once he kind of started getting back in the groove last year and at least able to get back on the field and do some practicing and things, I was surprised kind of the Vikings cut him loose. They obviously did not think he was going to make it all the way back, but so they traded him away, and by all accounts, he is the best quarterback on the field up there right now. But you know, Darnold's going to be the way of the future, so my guess is the Jets trade him off. Howie Long, because every single case we have opened, everyone has had a Howie Long relic in it for the Raiders. That particular relic is numbered to 50. I guess because it is gray instead of black. So, as many of you know, if you've been in other breaks with me, I am of the opinion that Panini somehow found a warehouse full of Howie Long worn stuff. That is numbered to 299, Drew Brees and the Saints. Because we have literally found Howie Long relic in every single case. What is the deal? Numbered to 299, Raymond Berry for the Colts. That is red back parallel. Oh, Alan, you agree with me? You think they're going to keep Josh Dobbs too? That's kind of what I think. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. We might be getting ready to hit something fun. James Harrison, award winners for my Pittsburgh Steelers. You know that's why I thought it was fun, because I love the Steelers. Even James Harrison, who kind of, yeah, I'm not happy about the way that played out with the Patriots and all that jazz. But anyway, that is a nice little hit for Pittsburgh with James Harrison on card in the award winners card set. I do have someone who usually buys the Steelers in Classics, and he said, I'm not going to be able to get in there on Sunday night. And he said, I bet you anything there's going to be a Steelers autograph come out of there. And, oh my gosh, he kind of jinxed himself, didn't he? Numbered to 99, Tariq Cohen and the Bears with a timeless tribute. Oh, Alan, you have the Raiders? Then yeah, man, anytime you have you have the Raiders in about any Classics break, I think you're probably going to hit that Howie Long relic, because I swear this is what, our 7th case. And every single one has had that relic in it. Not the exact one, but a Howie Long relic. Mike Evans and the Bucks, that is numbered to 65, a chrome refractor in the gold parallel. Oh, Mr. Majestic says he thinks the Steelers is the best team to buy in any break because they have tons of hits. That is numbered to 299, Derek Carr and the Raiders. That will have the red back, of course. Sometimes I agree with that. I think some years they're in there more than others. That's been my experience with it, Mr. Majestic. For instance, in 2016, there were a fair amount of Steelers. In 2017, there were a ton of Steelers. 2018, to me, has been kind of an average amount. 2015, I didn't think there were that many, and ditto for 2014. So to me, it seems kind of like it goes a little bit by year. I mean, it should really kind of hinge on the draft class with how many rookies are in the products these days, but it doesn't always. Joe Theismann to 99 for the Redskins, timeless tribute. But yeah, for sure, there are some nice things that come out for the Steelers in mini breaks. And of course, this year, you know, last year we had a number of good rookies to chase after, and this year, I think we're going to do well with James Washington, and I think we'll probably be fine long term, maybe with Mason Rudolph, maybe. I'm still, jury's still out on that a little. But I like Jalen Samuels a bit. And I haven't seen a lot of Jalen Samuels coming out of products. I would like to, because that's who I would kind of like to do my preseason stockpiling on anyway. And if I hit some of the others along the way, fine. But really, Jalen Samuels is kind of who I am looking to be the breakout candidate for the Steelers this year. Although I do also expect James Washington to be pretty good. It's just harder to stack up for him because you've got Antonio Brown, right? So, I mean, makes life a little harder for James Washington to find a spot, if you will. Not that I think they're going to cut him. I think he'll make the roster. And I do think he'll be good. I don't know. Jalen Samuels is the one I think is my sleeper, so we'll see how it plays out. Last year I had my eye on Juju, and that played out well. So maybe I will get lucky 2 years in a row. But that's the thing about all this preseason stuff, isn't it? It's kind of like a bit like playing the stock market. We're all speculating on how our rookies are going to do and stockpiling accordingly. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. Kareem Hunt for the Kansas City Chiefs is our relic. In fact, sometimes, a la 2016, you get lucky and you have a little bonus in there. Everybody was buying the Cowboys for Zeke. And then, of course, we all know what happened, how it ended up with Dak. And if you'd been buying the Cowboys all along in breaks, you probably had a little pile of Dak Prescott's just sitting there waiting about the time that he started taking the field. So sometimes we get little bonus surprises. Salt Hill is here. Salt Hill, how are you? We have not hit the buyback yet. Gronk to 99 timeless tributes. To 299 Calvin Ridley, red back parallel Falcons. Timeless tributes Larry Allen, Cowboys to 99. Yeah, the buyback is elusive tonight, lasting all the way up to some of our last boxes of the night. Mitch Trubisky to 175, chrome refractor, red back for the biscuit. Somebody said that Patrick Mahomes wasn't looking really very good in practice either. I hope that's not the case. I think he's got plenty of time, though, between now and the start of the season. Ian Thomas, number 250. That is a blank back Ian Thomas might, that's a big might, be a Panther. We had him last night, and I couldn't remember him. I wrote him down, and I think he might be a Panther. I'll have to double check him, though. Jimmy G to 99 on the Composers card set. Leonard Fournette is probably our buyback. Indeed it is. Many of our buybacks have been, well, at least the last 3 or 4 have been really recent rookies, which is so very strange to me. Then our others were really, you know, throwback buybacks, but the last 2 or 3 have been like this. That is numbered to 10. He's signed on there in gold. It kind of blends in. It's hard to see, but it is on there. So the Jags to 10, originally out of Donruss on a checkerboard, or what maybe is a checkerboard pattern. And there you go. There's your buyback. So you were just in time, Salt Hill. Just in the nick of time. And there came a rewards point, which means that one of our hits has been replaced. And that also means we'll be using random to award that momentarily. Ricky Jackson for the Saints to 299 red back. And here it is, 400 points, so better than the 150 that we sometimes get. At least they upped the ante and gave us 400 there. Salt Hill didn't even have to watch the break to know that there's a Howie Long patch in it. You are correct. There is a Howie Long relic in it. This one, though, was numbered to 50 tonight, so some of the other Howie Long relics have been unnumbered, but for sure, they show up 1 per case with a pretty solid degree of regularity. Mike, you have the Jags, so that is your, that Fournette is your buyback. Well, that is cool. I just usually, when I think of buybacks, I think of much older cards. And for the first, probably, what, 3 or 4 cases, well, probably the first 4 cases we opened, they were all older cards. Then a couple of cases back, we hit a Josh Dobbs buyback, but we also had an older buyback in the same case. So that was the case where we hit the 2. So then when we hit somebody last night, Marlon Mack, who of course was just a rookie as well. He was in there as a buyback, and I thought, okay, so maybe we're going to have a second one in this case as well, but we didn't. We just had the recent rookie as the only buyback, and then tonight here's Fournette. So a lot of cases of the early stuff. All the cases were cards from the 90s mostly, I would say. And then all the recent cases, all been rookies from last year. So there you go. What are you going to do? Oh, Mike, you have the Raiders. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, if he likes the Raiders, he's got definitely a Howie Long coming his way. Numbered to 25, Keyshawn Vieira. Okay, I can't say either name. Let's just lay that out there. It's not a shock to anybody that I can't pronounce it. I'm going to call him KB, and he is unsigned originally, currently Broncos. So unsigned and undrafted free agent went later, after the fact, to the Broncos. To 299, there is James Washington for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Deshaun Hamilton to 99. To 299, Brett Favre, Redback Packers. Campbell, Legends, numbered to 65, chrome refractor. Once again, Houston Oilers go to the Tennessee Titans. Cards always stay with their franchises, and the former Houston Oilers are the current Tennessee Titans. Tom Brady always wants to stick to the back of the blank card. His sticker always sticks. Numbered to 99, Evan Ingram and the Giants. Believe it or not, I got my Evan Ingram RPA from National Treasures. That redemption actually arrived this week. I was shocked. Considering I'm still waiting on Ezekiel Elliott, rookie from 2016, to 299, Tony Dorsett and the Cowboys red back. So I was pleasantly surprised to get Evan Ingram in such a timely manner. I don't buy the Giants myself. That is actually somebody who bought a spot in National Treasures and then actually hit that and hit something else. They had a Jim Thorpe relic and maybe even another something beyond that. Anyway, there were like 3 things in it, and the guy had already paid for it and the whole deal, and then got ticked off because I said that I needed to research the Jim Thorpe to make sure from the franchise history where it went. Michael Irvin for the Cowboys on our relic, because, you know, it was on there as the Canton Bulldogs, and there's a whole path you have to trace, and I didn't know that history just right off the top of my head. To 299, Terrell Suggs, Ravens, red back. So the guy throws a fit. He hasn't, actually I take that back, he hadn't paid for it. He said he had paid for it, but he hadn't. I didn't have the money in the account. Then the money came into the account like 4 days, 5 days later. And then, by then, I already knew I had done the franchise history, and I had told him, yeah, you're right, it goes to the Giants. I just, you know, had to verify it. I had to look it up. But then that made him mad. So as soon as the money went into the account, he immediately filed a case to have it refunded. And I'm like, then why did you just even pay it to begin with? Because it was 4 days later. I guess he didn't want to get the unpaid item strike. Anyway, moral of the story is I got stuck with the spot, and so I turned in the redemption, and now it's here. That's actually how I had the Ezekiel Elliott rookie, too. That was, again, somebody who bid on the Cowboys and didn't pay for their spot. That was somebody who had bid with me a lot before, and then just one night decided not to pay. But that one, I wish I had just sold as a redemption, because good grief, it's 2+ years since I turned that thing in. I guess not 2+ years, but it has been 2 years since it was turned in about. And 1.5 years. And I still don't have it, so that one I wish I had just sold as a redemption, but I didn't. Silly me. What was the Panther? Oh gosh, I don't know. From when? We haven't. Does anybody know the answer to that? I mean, was it like a long time ago? How long ago was it? Mr. Majestic? Was it an insert, or do you remember? Well, at any rate, as soon as we finish this last box here, we will have a few things to do. I will award the 400 rewards points that we pulled, which replaced one of our hits. I will use random.org to award all of our classic combos cards, so that will be coming up. This is numbered to 299, Deshaun Jackson for the Buccaneers, red back. And then we will recap our signature and relic hits and our numbered cards. All of that will be recapped at the very end. And then, of course, at the conclusion of the recap, I will also put the spreadsheet information up one final time in case someone didn't catch it earlier. Fran Tarkenton relic for the Vikings. I didn't pull a ton of Tarkenton relics, so that's kind of cool. DJ Chark, that's numbered to 99 for the Jags. That was a timeless tribute. And now we have another no-name front, numbered to 10. So a pair of those out of this case. David Johnson and the Arizona Cardinals happen to be the lucky recipient of that one. Harold Landry to 299 red back. Oh yeah, Mr. Majestic, gosh, I couldn't even tell you for sure how many Panthers we have seen throughout. I mean, there's so many cards in this break. It's, what, 12 or 1,400 cards in here. Numbered to 50, we have a blank back Cliff Branch for the Raiders. So in terms of like base and inserts and that sort of thing, I do not know how many we have hit. Brian Dawkins, redback, chrome refractor to 175. Well, eventually they'll stop going in 18 different directions, maybe. Oh, this looks like we might have a nice little hit coming. We do. So, Giants, you probably wanted Saquon Barkley, but we found you a nice little Eli Manning to 15, which is probably still, oh, I'd say a good $75 card, wouldn't you say? Maybe a little more than, since it's numbered to only 15. So, Giants, even though we didn't find you a Barkley, you are not going home empty-handed with the nice Eli Manning autograph there to 15. Jim Kelly to 299, redback parallel. So our last autograph hit was a nice one, in terms of value, anyway. Mike says the Cliff Branch is a dad card. Howie Long, well, he has no problem giving to his son, but the Cliff Branch is a dad card. I like the way you said that. That's cute. So we have a few little odds and ends here to handle before we get to our recap. I'm going to pull forward the one that's already in a sleeve, so that way I can write on it in a minute. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to bring you along with me. We'll roll over to random.org. I will type in simply left and right. I will hit random 3 times. The first 2 times will not count. The third and final will be our result and will tell us where the card is going to go. So, for instance, if it comes up left, it would go to the Jets. If it came up right, it would go to the Dolphins. And we'll do a quick little buzz through that entire stack once we know where they are going. So let's head back over here to our friend random.org and get this all set up and ready to go. All right, ignore this first one. You can ignore the second one. Here's our third and final, and it comes up as the right-hand side of the card. I forgot to switch you over, didn't I? So, well, that was super stupid. Do you guys want me to do it over again? I mean, you can see the 3 times on there and the date and time stamp, and you can see the result, but I, like a complete you-know-what, forgot to switch your view. I saw it, but you didn't. So would you like me to redo it? Somebody who's in chat, jump in, let me know. You want to leave it the way it is, or do you want it redone? Because I stupidly forgot to switch it. I mean, you can see from the time that it just happened, but still. I know there's a little delay in chat, so I'm just waiting for somebody to weigh in here before I move forward. Saltill says that they don't mind, but Saltill has a dog in the fight, so to speak, as in one of the teams on that top card. So anybody else? Mr. Majestic, Mike, Jimmy says he's fine with it the way it is. Alan, whoever else is watching, are you guys good with it? Do you need it redone? If you want it redone, just jump in there and let me know. Alan's good with it. Okay, so seems like the majority of you are going to be okay with it the way that it is. So we shall move on and move forward with that. Can't believe I did that. So stupid. Mike says he's okay with it too. All right, awesome. Okay, so of course I circled on the sleeve, not on the card. We'll do a quick little blow through. That one is the Dolphins. Then we have Broncos, 49ers, Cowboys, Cardinals, Chiefs, Giants, Cowboys, Steeler, 49er, Chief, Saint, Chief, Steeler, Cowboy, Chief, Giant, Saint, Bronco, Dolphin. All right. So our classic clashes all settled up there. Brings us to our 400 points reward point card. And I'm going to switch you first this time so I don't forget to do it like a crazy person. Here I am simply grabbing all of our team names. So I'm going to copy them right from the spreadsheet, and then we're going to buzz back over here to random. I'm going to dump them all in here. I will hit random one single time. Whoever comes out on top after I hit random will be taking home that card. So there you can see we do have, or I do have, all 32 teams in there. Here goes our random, and it comes up as the Tennessee Titans. And I guess I should scroll down on that too. Once again, there's your date and time stamp down there at the bottom. And that is the Titans. So from here, I'm going to recap everything. And after the recap, I will put the spreadsheet information up again in case someone missed it earlier. So if you are taking off, which some of you may be, thanks everybody. I appreciate you joining me tonight. And for those of you who are sticking around, let's get busy. Let's start looking at what we have. So all of our numbered cards, I'm not going to read off all these numbers again. You can, I'm sure, see them as we go along. Once again, the 299s are red backs. That is numbered to 10, no name on the front. Timeless tributes with the gold are to 99. Anything with 50 is a blank back. So that is most of what we found. There's another blank, but most of them are timeless tributes or red backs, the occasional blank back jumping in there as well. This is to 25, timeless tributes with the orange background. That is numbered to 10 with the blue background. That is also to 99. The rest of those numbered cards will also be put into sleeves. I just did some of them as we went through the break. I didn't do every single one of them live, primarily because I learned it takes up surprisingly more time than you would think. To 25, to 10, that's to 50 with the blank back. So the first few breaks I stopped and did them all in the sleeve as we went along, and it seems like it doesn't take that long, but I guess when you think about it cumulatively, it really did probably save us 10 or 15 minutes. Brian Dawkins, Redback Refractor 175, Earl Campbell, Titans, Gold Refractor to 65, Mitch Trubisky, Redback Refractor 175, Mike Evans, that is to 65, Gold Refractor, James Washington 175, Redback Refractor, LaDainian Tomlinson is a blank back refractor to 35, Deontay Burnett, Redback Refractor 175, Troy Aikman, Redback 175, Brian Dawkins, Gold Refractor to 65, and Sam Darnold, blank back refractor to 35. Now, of course, our 400 rewards points, which replaced one of our hits, that was awarded to the Tennessee Titans. And the next Hang on a second, guys. I see some kind of weirdness happening over here. I don't know. Oh, hang on a second. I see what's happening. Hang on, guys. Sorry. The computer has come unplugged and the battery's about to die. Hold on. Hold on. Hopefully, did that get it fixed? Oh, good grief. All right, well, I don't know if that got it fixed or not. I'm trying to get it fixed. I thought it was already plugged in, but it just was acting really weird and gave me a strange message. But now I think maybe it's fixed. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. All right. So, our relics. Fran Tarkenton, Vikings. Cowboys, Michael Irvin. Kareem Hunt, Chiefs. Howie Long, 250, Raiders. Dual combo relic for the Cowboys. Combo relic, Redskins. Leonard Fournette, Jags. Cowboys, Michael Irvin again. AJ Green, Bengals. Combo relic, Eagles. And for my Pittsburgh Steelers, the bus, Jerome Bettis. Eli Manning to 15 for the Giants. Keyshawn, however you say it, to 25. And let me double check him. All right, originally undrafted, then went to the Broncos. Our buyback, Leonard Fournette for the Jags. It is numbered 5 of 10. It was originally out of Donruss, of course, out of 2017 Donruss football originally. Nice little James Harrison on-card autograph award winners for the Steelers. Darius Geis to 49 for the Redskins. Bill Bates for the Cowboys to 99. Lowell to 99. Is that 99 or 49? 99. An undrafted free agent that went to the Broncos. Roquan Smith, numbered 225 for the Chicago Bears. Quinn Blanding to 25 was an undrafted free agent who went to, gotta look it up, the Redskins. And then Harold Landry, of course that is a chrome refractor. It's numbered to 25, and Harold Landry is a Tennessee Titan. And that is it for our recap and our breaks tonight. But as I promised I would do, I will put our spreadsheet back up there. I'm going to put autofocus back on because we don't have to mess with that anymore. And let's get a look at this. So once again, if you missed it, there is your anticipated shipping date for each of our breaks tonight. If I can get this Classics break out to you sooner than Thursday, I absolutely will. I'm going to try very hard to do that. I am a little bit behind from my unfortunate klutzy fall earlier in the week that left me too sore to work for a day or two. So I'm slowly but surely getting caught back up, and hopefully I can get it to you quicker than Thursday. But for now, that's your anticipated date. And then once again, our breaks that are coming up on the days ahead. Tomorrow night, Tier 1 and Essentials, both case breaks, 1 baseball, 1 basketball. On Wednesday, a Gold Rush autographed jersey, a case of Onyx Preferred Players autographed baseballs, and Finest Baseball, which comes out on Wednesday night. We'll break it on Wednesday night. Thursday is another half case of mini helmets, Hidden Treasures mini, or TriStar Hidden Treasures autographed mini helmets. I'll get it out in a minute. A couple of boxes of 2012 Signature Series baseball, another case of Finest Baseball. And Friday is when Luminance comes out, and we're going to bust into that on Friday as well. So that is what our days ahead look like, and I guess that kind of wraps us up for tonight. So once again, everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining the break tonight, and hopefully I will see you again later in the week. Remember, I am not breaking tomorrow night for the first time in probably 5 months or so, 4 or 5 months, but off tomorrow night, back at it Tuesday night. We'll see you then. Bye now.